Hello students, today we will discuss the next part of the states of matter, and in this we will discuss liquefaction of gases. So what is liquefaction of gases? Liquefaction of gases means gases can be converted to liquid state, right? Liquefaction gases means gases can be converted to liquid state, but these gases can be converted to liquid state either by the application of pressure or by cooling or by the combined effect of both, right? So gases like SO2, ammonia, HCl, etc. they can be easily converted to liquid state either by the application of pressure or by cooling, right? But the gases like O2, N2, H2, they are difficult to liquefy. They cannot be liquefied by applying the pressure at the room temperature. These gases, they must be cooled to a particular temperature, that is, they must be cooled down to a particular temperature, and then pressure is applied, and then they can be converted to liquid state. So what is critical temperature? Critical temperature is a temperature above which a gas cannot be liquefied howsoever we apply a high pressure on the gas, right? So it is a temperature above which a gas cannot be liquefied howsoever a high pressure is applied on it. For example, critical temperature of CO2 gas is 30.98 degrees Celsius, right? If the temperature of CO2 gas is more than this temperature, then CO2 gas cannot be liquefied howsoever a high pressure is applied on the CO2 gas. So this is about critical temperature, and critical temperature is denoted by Tc, right? Now there is critical pressure. The term is here critical pressure. That is the pressure required at critical temperature. The pressure required at critical temperature to convert 1 mole of a gas into liquid state, that is known as critical pressure. Now what is critical volume? Critical volume, the volume occupied by 1 mole of a gas at critical temperature and critical pressure is called critical volume, and it is denoted by Vc, and critical pressure is denoted by Pc, right? So the critical temperature, that is Tc, critical pressure, that is Pc, and critical volume, that is Vc. These are collectively known as critical constant of a gas. Critical constant of a gas. Now we will discuss the Andrews experiment. Andrew was a scientist, and he discussed the effect of pressure on the volume of CO2 gas at different temperature, and then he showed the graph, and we will discuss that graph, and then we will see the effect of pressure on the volume of CO2 gas at different temperature, right? So here is question. Andrews experiment. Now Andrew he gave the point graph on the basis of his experiment that he studied the effect of pressure on the volume of CO2 gas at different temperatures, and then he obtained different curves at different temperature, and that curves are known as isotherms because these were obtained at constant temperature. Therm means thermal, that is temperature, iso means same, that is these curves are obtained at same temperature. So what type of curves were obtained? We will discuss it now. So this is the horizontal portion of the curve, the second horizontal portion of the curve, right? This curve is obtained at 13.1 degrees Celsius, and this is obtained at about 20 degrees Celsius, and this is obtained at 30.98 degrees Celsius, right? So now we can name it, label it A, B, C, D, and E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M. Right? Now this curve from A to B. This is for CO2 gas. This curve A to B represents the gaseous state of the CO2. Here, when the pressure is increased, then gas is compressed. Now at point B, there is sudden decrease in volume with the increase of pressure. There is sudden decrease, that is fast decrease of volume. Now this can happen when a gas gets converted to liquid state. Only then there is fast decrease, sudden decrease of volume. So this point B represents the starting of liquefaction of the gas, and this point B to C, that is you also include this D point. This point B, C, D, that is this curve B to D, this represents the liquid state of the gas. Now at point C, liquefaction stops. All the gas gets converted into liquid. Total volume of the gas gets converted into liquid. At point C, now there is less decrease in volume, right, with the increase of pressure. This is because liquids are less compressible with respect to gas. They are very less compressible. So there is little decrease in volume with the increase, that is very high increase in pressure. Now as the temperature is increased, the horizontal portion of the graph decreases, and then this reduces to a point J. And this point J represents the critical temperature of CO2 gas. Now above this temperature, and this graph is about 31 degrees Celsius, 31.1 degrees Celsius. Above this temperature, now you can see there is no liquefaction, there is no horizontal portion in this curve. That is, liquefaction is not there above this temperature. Howsoever we apply high pressure on the CO2 gas. So this point J represents the critical temperature, that is 30.98 degrees Celsius. Right? Now we will discuss the application of critical temperature. What is critical temperature? We have already discussed that. Now critical temperature is proportional to intermolecular forces of attraction. Intermolecular forces of attraction. More is the critical temperature of a gas, more are the intermolecular forces or attractions between the gas molecules, and more easily the gas can be converted to liquid state. For example, the critical temperature of CO2 is approximately 305 degrees Celsius, and that of ammonia is 405 degrees Celsius. So critical temperature of ammonia is more than that of CO2. So ammonia gas if we have suppose mixture of ammonia and CO2, then ammonia will gets liquefied first before CO2 because its critical temperature is high. So we have to apply less pressure, so it will get easily liquefied. Now next we will study about the vapor pressure, and then we will discuss the boiling point. After that, surface tension and viscosity. Right. So first we will discuss vapor pressure. What is the vapor pressure? Vapor pressure is a pressure. It is a pressure exerted by vapors present above the liquid, in a closed container. Right. So this is definition of vapor pressure. It is clear from its name also. Right. That is, it is the pressure of vapors. Suppose this is liquid and here the vapors in closed container. So it is the pressure of the vapors present above the liquid in a closed container. Right. Now there is a note that cooling is caused by evaporation. Cooling is caused by evaporation. Right? Suppose if we place alcohol or acetone on our palm, then we feel cooling. Why is this so? Now, during cooling, what happens? The more energetic molecules, they leave the liquid surface and go into the atmosphere. And when more energetic molecules leave the liquid surface and go into the atmosphere, the energy of remaining liquid decreases, and this gives the cooling effect. Right? Now, factors affecting the vapor pressure. Factors affecting the vapor pressure. First is nature of the liquid. Nature of the liquid. Different liquids have different types of molecules, and in some liquids the intermolecular forces of attractions are less, and in some other liquids the intermolecular forces of attractions are more, and in other types of liquid the intermolecular forces of attractions are medium. So if there are intermolecular forces of attractions are less in a particular type of liquid, then the molecules can easily leave the liquid and can go into the atmosphere, that is in the vapor state. So that is more number of molecules will go into the vapor state, and more will be the vapor pressure if the force of attractions between the molecules of a liquid is less. And if the force of attraction between the molecules of liquid is more, then the less molecules will go into the vapor state and it will have less vapor pressure. For example, vapor pressure of water is more than that of a oil. That's why the water rise up earlier to oil. Right? And similarly, vapor pressure of alcohol is less with respect to that of water. And similarly, acetone has lower vapor pressure than that of water. Now next is temperature. Now with the increase of temperature, the vapor pressure increases. That it is proportional to vapor pressure. Right? As temperature is increased, the energy of liquid molecules increases, and more liquid molecules can go into the vapor state. That is, more vapors will be there, and then more will be the vapor pressure. Right? Now what is boiling point? What is the definition of boiling point? That is the exact scientific definition. Boiling point is the temperature It is the temperature above which, at which, it is the temperature at which vapor pressure of a liquid becomes equal to its atmospheric pressure. At which vapor pressure of a liquid becomes equal to atmospheric pressure. Atmospheric pressure. Right? So if atmospheric pressure is less, as it is on a mountain, that is at higher altitude, you know that atmospheric pressure is less. So if atmospheric pressure is less, then we have to supply less heating, that is we have to give less temperature to a liquid so that its vapor pressure becomes equal to atmospheric pressure at a lower temperature. It will happen. And if atmospheric pressure is high, you know at sea level atmospheric pressure is 1 atmosphere and it is higher than that at the higher altitude, that is high mountains. So at sea level the boiling point of water is 100 degrees Celsius, because there we have to heat more to the liquid and then the vapor pressure becomes equal to atmospheric pressure, which is higher. And at mountains where is the vapor pressure is lower, atmospheric pressure is lower, then we have to heat less to a liquid so that vapor pressure becomes equal to atmospheric pressure. So it means that at high altitudes the water boils at a lower temperature. So the boiling point of water will be less than 100 degrees Celsius at higher altitude than at sea level. This is because, I am explaining again, because at sea level you have to heat more and at high altitude you have to heat less to a liquid so that its vapor pressure becomes equal to atmospheric pressure. Now because atmospheric pressure is lower at high altitude, we have to heat less, and if it is more, suppose at sea level, then we have to heat it more so that its vapor pressure becomes equal to atmospheric pressure. That's why the boiling point of water decreases at high altitudes, that is at mountain, and water gets boiled early with respect to as at that is the sea level or any plain area. Now we will discuss that vegetables or food gets cooked fastly in a pressure cooker. Why? Because in a pressure cooker we increase the pressure. So we have to heat it more, that is we have to heat the liquid in the pressure more so that its vapor pressure becomes equal to the pressure increased in the pressure cooker, right? That's why the boiling point of liquid, that is water, in the pressure cooker increases, and our vegetables and foods, they get cooked at higher temperature in the pressure cooker, and when these vegetables or foods, they are cooked at higher temperature, so the cooking rate increases, and within 10 to 15 minutes the food is get prepared in the pressure cooker. So this is about the atmospheric pressure, that is relation of atmospheric pressure with boiling point. Now we will discuss another topic, surface tension and viscosity. Only 2 topics are left in this chapter, and we will discuss it in the next video. And thank you for watching this video. Have a nice day.